Did you know that a single penny, just sitting in your pocket right now, could be worth tens of thousands of dollars? Top 1. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, it's just 1 cent? Well, you might want to take a second look, because there's a 2009 Lincoln penny out there that's sold for a jaw-dropping $73,000. Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, worth more than most luxury cars. So what makes this little coin so insanely valuable? Let's go back to 2009, a special year for the Lincoln penny. That year marked Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday, and also the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent itself. To celebrate, the US Mint released 4 different designs on the back of the penny, each one telling a story from Lincoln's life of birth and early childhood in Kentucky, formative years in Indiana, professional life in Illinois, presidency in Washington, t.c. You've probably seen these pennies in your change. They look cool, sure, but most people just spend them and move on. But here's the thing, some of these 2009 pennies were struck with rare errors or in special conditions, and that's where the value skyrockets. Take for example the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny made in San Francisco, struck in pure copper-proof condition. Or a 2009 penny with a double die error, where the design appears slightly duplicated due to a minting mishap. These aren't just minor differences, they're collector gold. Point 1 of these ultra-rare 2009 error pennies, in pristine condition, once sold at auction for $73,000. Why? Because serious collectors are willing to pay top dollar for unique, high-grade coins that are part of US history. Now you're probably wondering, how do you know if you're holding a regular 2009 penny or a jackpot? Here's what to look for. Check the back design. Is it one of the 4 special Lincoln Bicentennial reverses? That's your starting point. Look for errors, doubling in the text, Lincoln's image, or strange strike marks. Check the mint mark, S for San Francisco, D for Denver, or no mark for Philadelphia. Check the material. Most 2009 pennies are zinc with a copper coating, but some rare versions were struck in 95% copper, like the old-school pre-1982 pennies. Those weigh slightly more, and if you really think you've found something special, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade of MS 67 or higher, especially on an error coin, can turn your penny into a 5-figure payday. People have found these coins in pocket change, coin rolls, even tucked away in old birthday cards. It happens more often than you think. So the next time you see a 2009 penny, don't ignore it. That tiny copper coin could be hiding a big secret, and maybe, just maybe, it's your ticket to a $73,000 surprise. Check your coins. Pay attention to the details, because sometimes, the smallest things turn out to be the most valuable. Top 2. You've probably thrown away hundreds of pennies in your life, but what if I told you that one of those ordinary-looking coins from 1973 could be worth $65,000? Sounds crazy, right? But it's 100% true. There's a rare version of the 1973 Lincoln penny that has sold for as much as $65,000, and you might be holding one without even knowing it. Let me explain. Most people don't pay attention to pennies. They're dirty, they're small, and most think they're worthless. But when it comes to coin collecting, it's the tiny details that can turn pocket change into pure gold. The 1973 penny looks like every other Lincoln cent, but in rare cases, things went very, very wrong during production, and that's where the magic happens. So what makes the 1973 penny so special? It comes down to mint errors and rare varieties. These are coins that were either struck on the wrong metal planchet, have doubling errors, or were produced in unusual ways that slipped through quality control. Here's the wild part. A small number of 1973 Lincoln pennies were accidentally struck on aluminum planchets, which were being tested at the time by the US Mint for future coinage. Aluminum was never approved for mass circulation, but a few test strikes were made, and one of them made it out into the world. And just one of these 1973 aluminum pennies has been valued as high as $65,000 due to its extreme rarity and historical significance. But that's not the only valuable version. There are also 1973 pennies with double die errors, where parts of the coin appear doubled due to a misaligned strike. Off-center strikes, where the design is partially missing, wrong planchet. Errors, where the penny was struck on a dime blank, nickel blank, or even a foreign coin blank, and even high-grade uncirculated coins with near-perfect surfaces that drive collectors crazy. So how do you know if your 1973 penny is just worth 1 cent or $65,000? Start by checking the mint mark. Is there a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco under the year? Or no mark at all, meaning it came from Philadelphia? Then check for unusual details. Is Lincoln's face or the lettering doubled? Does the coin look off-centered? Is the color or metal different than your average penny? Does it feel lighter than normal? And most importantly, weigh it. A normal 1973 penny weighs about 3.11 grams. If yours weighs significantly less, like around 1 gram, it could be one of those rare aluminum planchet test coins. If you suspect anything unusual, don't clean it, don't scratch it, and definitely don't spend it. Instead, get it graded and authenticated by a professional service like PCGS or NGC, because if it turns out to be one of the rare ones, you're not just holding a coin. You're holding a $65,000 piece of history. People have found these kinds of coins in jars, in rolls, in old piggy banks, even in inherited collections. It happens more than you think. So the next time you see a 1973 penny in your change, don't ignore it, check it. Examine it. Weigh it, because that little copper coin might just change your life. 1 cent. Or $65,000, that's the difference a rare mistake can make. Top 3. Have you ever found a 1975 penny in your pocket change and just tossed it aside? Well, that could have been a $68,000 mistake. That's right, a rare version of the 1975 Lincoln penny has been sold for as much as $68,000 at auction. And what's shocking is, to most people, it looks just like any other old penny. So what makes it so valuable? Let's start with the basics. The 1975 penny features Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back, just like every other penny from that era. Most of them are made from a copper alloy and are worth just face value, but here's where things get interesting. In rare cases, the US Mint makes mistakes. And in the coin world, a mint error is pure gold. Literally, some 1975 pennies were struck with major errors that make them incredibly rare and extremely valuable. These include double die errors, where parts of the text or Lincoln's face appear doubled. Off-center strikes, where the coin's design is printed incorrectly or partly missing. Wrong planchet errors, where the penny was accidentally struck on a dime or foreign coin blank, and ultra-rare proof coins made in San Francisco that ended up in circulation by accident. One of these extremely rare 1975 error pennies, in high mint state condition, was sold for $68,000 because of its uniqueness and rarity. So, how can you tell if your 1975 penny is worth 1 cent or $68,000? Here's what to look for. Check the date and mint mark. Does it say 1975? Is there a small S or D under the date? San Francisco coins, especially proofs, are worth a closer look. Check for doubling. Look closely at the words Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date. If the letters look doubled, you may have a double DIE.is it off-center. A misaligned strike with part of the design missing or shifted is highly collectible. Weigh it. A normal 1975 penny should weigh about 3.11 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, it could have been struck on the wrong type of metal. Look at the condition. If it's shiny, has no scratches, and looks brand new, it might be in mint state. High grades like MS65 or higher bring big money. If you find something that looks unusual, don't clean it and don't spend it. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC for evaluation. Because if it turns out to be authentic, you could be sitting on a $68,000 treasure. And here's the best part, these coins have been found in coin jars, pocket change, and old collections passed down by grandparents. You don't need to be a collector to find one, you just need to pay attention. So go ahead, check your change. Look through that old penny collection. Dig into that piggy bank you haven't touched in years, because one little copper coin from 1975 could change your life. 1 cent, or $68,000, only one way to find out. Top 4. You've seen thousands of these, the classic Lincoln penny. But did you know that one specific 1989 penny has sold for a staggering $52,000? Yes, you heard that right. One tiny, copper-colored coin, worth more than a luxury car.so. What makes this 1989 1-cent penny so valuable? Let's break it down. Most 1989 pennies are totally ordinary, made of zinc with a thin copper coating, produced by the millions, and worth exactly 1 cent. But not all coins are created equal. Every now and then, a rare mint error slips through the cracks at the US Mint, and those mistakes. That's where the big money is. Point one of the rarest and most valuable 1989 pennies ever discovered was struck with a wrong planchet error, meaning it was mistakenly printed on the wrong kind of metal blank. In some cases, these coins were struck on dime planchets or even foreign coin blanks. That means the coin is slightly smaller or thinner than usual, the edges might look off or have a different color, and the details don't line up perfectly, creating a truly unique coin. One of these ultra-rare 1989 error pennies was authenticated, graded in mint state, and sold for a whopping $52,000 at auction.so. How do you know if your 1989 penny is worth thousands? Here's what to look for. Check the weight. A regular 1989 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If yours weighs significantly less or more, it could be a wrong planchet. Look for misprints, doubling on the date, letters like Liberty or In God We Trust, or the Lincoln Memorial on the back could signal a valuable double die error. Inspect the edges. A smooth, missing, or oddly shaped rim could indicate a striking error. Check the condition. If your coin looks brand new, with no scratches or wear, it could earn a high mint state grade like MS 65 or higher, which adds thousands in value. And if you think you found something strange, don't clean it. Don't spend it. Don't toss it. Instead, send it to a top grading company like PCGS or NGC to get it professionally authenticated. You never know, what looks like just another old penny in your pocket could actually be worth $52,000. People have found rare coins like this in their spare change, old jars, inherited collections, and even at garage sales.so. Before you toss that penny away, check the date, because 1989 might just be your lucky year. 1 cent, or $52,000, the answer could be sitting in your wallet right now. Top 5. How much is a penny worth to you? 1 cent, right? Well, what if I told you a 1993 Lincoln penny, the kind you've probably ignored 100 times, was once sold for an unbelievable $48,000? That's not a myth. It's real, and this is exactly why you should start checking your change. Let's dive into it. The 1993 penny looks like every other modern Lincoln cent, copper-colored, with Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But here's the twist: a very small number of these pennies were struck with extremely rare mint errors, the kind that collectors will pay tens of thousands of dollars for. One particular 1993 penny fetched $48,000 at auction because it was struck on the wrong planchet, meaning it wasn't made from the regular copper-plated zinc. Instead, it was printed on a blank meant for a foreign coin or a different denomination, making it wildly rare. And that's not the only type of valuable error. Other high-value 1993 penny mistakes include double die errors, where parts of the coin appear doubled, especially the date or the word Liberty off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned or partially missing. Clip planchets, coins with part of the edge cut off. Wrong metal errors, struck on a dime blank, foreign blank, or with incorrect composition. So now you're probably thinking, how do I know if my 1993 penny is worth $48,000? Here's what to check: the weight. A normal 1993 penny weighs 2.5 grams. If yours is lighter or heavier, that's your first clue. Magnify the text, look closely at Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. If you notice any doubling, it could be a double die. Examine the edges. Are they smooth, jagged, clipped? Odd edges could mean a striking error. Check the condition. If your penny looks flawless, shiny, and untouched, it could be mint state, MS, quality, and high grades add thousands to its value. And remember, don't clean it. Don't polish it. Don't try to make it look new. If you think you've found something special, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. That little coin could be your ticket to a $48,000 payday. People have found rare error coins like this in the most unexpected places: in piggy banks, old jars, inherited coin collections, even in store change.so before you toss that 1993 penny away. Take a good look, because sometimes, the coin you think is worthless is actually worth more than your entire wallet. 1 cent, or $48,000, you decide, but only if you check your coins.